When we think about living a life of abundance, we often focus on what we can gain: more possessions, greater success, or increased happiness. However, the Bible teaches us that true prosperity comes not from getting, but from giving. This timeless wisdom is captured in the phrase, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," which encourages us to cultivate a spirit of generosity and openness. By doing so, we create space for God's goodness to flow into our lives. In this article, we'll explore what it means to live out this principle, and how it can transform our relationships, communities, and even the world around us. We'll examine biblical examples of people who embodied this philosophy, from the widow's offering in Luke 21:4 to the parable of the talents in Matthew 25:14-30. By studying these stories, we can gain insights into how giving can lead to greater blessings and rewards. As we delve deeper into the heart of God's economy, may we discover that true wealth lies not in what we accumulate, but in the impact we make on others through our generosity. Biblical context and key passages: the phrase, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," is rooted in the teachings of Jesus, who often emphasized the importance of giving without expecting anything in return. In Luke 6:38, he says, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap." This passage reminds us that when we give freely, God's blessings overflow back to us in unexpected ways. This idea is not unique to Jesus' teachings. In the Old Testament, we see examples of people who gave generously and were rewarded for their faithfulness. For instance, Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac, Genesis 22:1-14, demonstrated his trust in God's provision and plan. Similarly, Job's perseverance through trials showed that true riches come from a heart of generosity rather than material possessions. The biblical principle of giving is not just about individual actions. It's also about community and the collective impact we have on others. In 2 Corinthians 9:6-7, Paul writes, "Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously." This verse highlights the importance of living a life of generosity that overflows to those around us. Some key passages that illustrate this principle include Luke 6:38, "Give, and it will be given to you." Matthew 25:14-30. The parable of the talents, 2 Corinthians 9:6-7, "Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously." Meaning and key themes: the phrase, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," is more than just a moral instruction. It's a profound promise from God. When we give freely, without expectation or attachment, we create space for God's goodness to flow into our lives. This principle is rooted in the idea that when we release what we have, whether it's time, resources, or love, we open ourselves up to receive even more. At its core, giving is not just about what we give, but how we give. It's not just about the quantity, but the quality of our generosity. When we give with a cheerful heart, without expecting anything in return, we demonstrate trust in God's goodness and provision. This mindset allows us to experience true abundance, not just in material possessions, but in relationships, purpose, and joy. One key theme that emerges from this principle is the importance of stewardship. When we view our resources as a gift from God, rather than something we own, we become better stewards of what He has entrusted to us. This mindset allows us to use our gifts and talents to make a meaningful impact on others, which in turn brings us joy and fulfillment. Another crucial aspect of this principle is the concept of reciprocity. When we give freely, we often receive unexpected blessings in return. This might take the form of financial provision, emotional support, or spiritual guidance. By practicing generosity, we open ourselves up to receive from others, which strengthens our relationships and builds a sense of community. As we explore this principle further, it's essential to note that giving is not limited to material possessions. Time, energy, love, and attention are all forms of giving that can have a profound impact on those around us. By being intentional about how we give, we can create a ripple effect of kindness and generosity that spreads far beyond our immediate circle. Practical application today. So, what does this principle look like in practical terms? How can we apply the idea of give, and it shall be given unto you, to our daily lives? One starting point is to identify areas where we can give more freely. This might involve donating to a favorite charity, volunteering our time, or simply being present for those around us. Another key aspect is to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and trust in God's provision. When we recognize that everything we have comes from Him, we're able to release our attachment to material possessions and focus on what truly matters: relationships, purpose, and joy. We can also apply this principle by being intentional about how we give. This might involve setting aside a specific portion of our income for giving, or finding creative ways to use our talents and skills to make a difference in the world around us. Ultimately, living out the principle of give, and it shall be given unto you, requires a willingness to trust in God's goodness and provision. When we do, we open ourselves up to receive unexpected blessings and experience true abundance in all areas of our lives. In conclusion, as we've explored the biblical principle of give, and it shall be given unto you, we've seen how it can transform our relationships, communities, and even the world around us. By living out this principle, we create space for God's goodness to flow into our lives, demonstrate trust in His provision and plan, and experience true abundance, not just in material possessions, but in relationships, purpose, and joy. So, let's take the first step today by identifying areas where we can give more freely. Let's cultivate a mindset of gratitude and trust in God's goodness, and be intentional about how we give. As we do, may we discover that true wealth lies not in what we accumulate, but in the impact we make on others through our generosity. May we experience the overflow of God's blessings in unexpected ways, and may our lives become a reflection of His love and provision to those around us.